Good morning, students. Today we are going to see Standard 8th Geography, Chapter number 7, Population. Here, few questions they had given. Find out, obtain the following information for a particular day. How many students are there in your class? Out of the total number, how many are boys and how many girls? How many are absent? What is the total strength of students in your school? What is the total number of boys and girls in your school? Which class has maximum strength of students? Which class has the most absentee? As due to COVID-19, we are not in school, so we will not have the information accurate. So when we will come to school, that time we will complete this activity. So let's see next content. Geographical explanation. In the above exercise, you obtained information about the strength of students in your school. In a similar manner, information can be obtained about the population of a village, taluka, district, state, nation and world. While obtaining this information, we have to also consider age and sex ratio, literacy, etc. So here, when we will find out the answers of this all above questions, that time first we will try to collect the information about a particular class. And after that, we will differentiate between the girls and boys strength. And after collecting the detailed information about the whole classes, all classes, then we will get the correct population of our school. So this is the method which is used for finding the population of a village, taluka, district, state, nation and world. And depending on this only information, we can also get the sex ratio. Means that how many boys are there, how many girls are there, that can be easily find out from this population ratio. And how many people are literate and how many people are illiterate. And what is the age of that particularly persons. The peoples who are under the age of 1 to 5, how many children are there? Above 5 to 10, how many are there? And then 15, under 20, under 30 or under 50, and how many the peoples are age above the 60 years. So this difference will convert and help us to find out the population of our country by differentiating, by considering the age, sex ratio and literacy and many other different points. Several factors are responsible for the development of a region. Out of these, population is an important factor. While studying the population of any region, the following aspects have to be considered. So, while collecting the information about the population, while studying about the population, few factors are important. So, which are the factors which are important? Let's see. 4 points factors they had given. First one, population growth, population distribution, population density, structure of population. These 4 points are important while studying the population of any region. Let's do the next activity. Can you tell total population in 2016? As A city and B city they had given. In A city 1 lakh, in B city 1 lakh 10,000. Total number of children born 2,000 in A city and in B city 2,750. Total number of deaths in A city, total number of deaths are 1,500 and in B city 2,200. People who have migrated from outside, they are in A city 23,000 and in B city 15,000. People who have migrated out are in A city 2,000 and in B city 5,000. People who have migrated out means from a village, they are moving to other villages. And people who have migrated from outside, it means that the people who are getting in the city or in a village, who are coming to our village, they will be migrated from outside. And migrated out means they are going from our village to other village or other city. Total population in 2017 we have to find out. So in change, you can see in this table they had given plus, minus, plus, minus. Newborn children will be added to the cities, and the death persons will be minus from the cities. So few questions depending on this they had given. Let's see the question. Which city has greater number of newly born cities? So, if you will observe the table, the total number of children born, newly born, is greater in B. As you can see here, that in B city, 2,750 number of children born in B city. Next, which city records greater number of deaths? Let's see where the death rate is high. If you will see total number of deaths, that is maximum in B city, that is 2,200. Is it? Let's see the next one. Looking at the figures of in-migration and out-migration, which city has received more migrants? If you will see in the table, people who have migrated from outside, that is in A city, 23,000 peoples are migrated from outside in this city. Means 23,000 peoples, they came to that city to add in the population. So where the population will be high? In A city, the migrant peoples will be higher. So by seeing all these figures of in-migration, we can come to know that A city in-migration is done more as compared to B city. Let's see the next one. Calculate the population of both the cities in 2017. 2017 we have to find out. Let's see about A city. 1 lakh total population in 2016, it was 1 lakh. Total number of children born, that is we have to add. So 2,000 people are added in 1 lakh. So 1 lakh 2,000 will be the population of A city. Then total number of deaths, that is 1,500. So from 1 lakh 2,000, when we will deduct the death persons, 1,500. So your answer will be 1,500,000. People who have migrated from outside, they are 23,000. When you will add in A city, the answer will be 1,23,500 will be your answer. Next, people who have migrated out are 2,000. Here, the answer will be the total population in 2017 is 1,21,500. What will be answer? 1,21,500. Next, about B city. Total population in 2016 was 1,10,000, and the newborn children in B city is 2,750. It means that in B city now the population is 1,12,750. Here the death rate is 2,200. So if you will deduct from 1,12,750, You will get the answer 1,10,550. People who have migrated out are 5,000. Migrated from outside are 15,000. Means we have to add this 15,000 in B city. People who have migrated out are 5,000. If you will calculate all this, you will get the answer that 1,20,550 is the population of B city. Of A city, 1,21,500, and in B city, 1,20,550 will the total population of 2017. Next question. After considering all the points, which city has recorded more growth of population in 1 year? So, you will get the answer for this question is that the city A has recorded more growth in population, because here we got the answer as 1,21,500 people's population is seen in A city. So, considering all the points, the city A has recorded more growth in population in 1 year. Next question. The total number of births are given. What would be this figure per thousand population? What is the term for this? As the number of births per thousand is termed as the birth rate. The birth rate of city A was 20 births per thousand, and that of city B was 25 births per thousand, according to the birth rate. Next, what would be the number of deaths per thousand population? What is the term used for this? The number of deaths per thousand is termed as the death rate. So, before we had seen the birth rate, now we are seeing about the death rate. So, the number of deaths per thousand is termed as the death rate. The death rate of city A was 15 deaths per thousand, whereas that of city B was 20 deaths per thousand. Next, let's see the geographical explanation. Population growth. From the above exercise, it can be seen that there is a constant change in the population of a region. Sometimes there is a decrease in population, and at other times there is an increase. This increase or decrease is related to the following factors. As while finding out the question and the answers of the questions, we have come to know that sometimes in any city, maybe the population will be higher or maybe the population will be lower. It will depend on the following points, or following factors will give effect on the population of that particularly area. So let's see what are the factors. Birth rate. The number of live births per 1,000 people in a year shows the birth rate. So how the birth rate is found out? As according to the number of live births per 1,000 people in a year shows the birth rate. Death rate. The number of deaths per 1,000 people in a year shows the death rate. Life expectancy. The average lifespan of an individual expected in an area at the time of birth. Migration. The movement of an individual or a group out of an area or into an area is called migration. When people move into a region from outside for residence, it is called in-migration. And when people move out of a region for residential purpose, it is called out-migration. So, two types of migrations are done, in and out. When the people, they come to a village by leaving their original place, by leaving their own village to other village, they are getting out. It means that out migration it will set. And when it will set the in, when they are getting inside in a village, then we can means they are coming to a village, other village, that will be in. When we go from a village, it will be out migration. When we come in a village, it means in migration. All the above factors affect the population growth. The difference between the birth rate and the death rate is clearly responsible for the natural changes in population. Similarly, the migration of an individual or a group constantly results in the change of population. The unchecked growth of population puts pressure on the resources of a region. On the other hand, a controlled growth of population will lead to the availability of resources in the right proportion. A controlled population is an indicator of the development of a region. So as the population, it keeps changing. As according to the groups, the population is divided, and combining to all the groups, the population level is decided. When the population growth is higher, it is difficult to survive easily and to make available the natural resources to the people. So, if the population is in control, it gives the indicator of the development of a region. Try this. Take about 100 grains of black-eyed beans, that is chawri. First, scatter these beans on a square of 30 into 30 centimeters. Now, scatter 100 more beans on a square of 15 into 15 centimeters. While scattering the grains, take care to see that the grains do not touch one another or pile up on top of the other. See figure 7.1. Here, the picture is given. Like this, two boxes you have to create, and in it you have to by 30 into 30 centimeter. One box you have to prepare. The another box will be of 15 into 15. You have to scatter that chawri as that they should not touch each other or should not be on each other. So depending on this, we have to give the answer of the few questions. In which of the square can be the grains of chawri be easily scattered? So where the box will be greater or bigger, in that the chawri will be scattered easily. In which of the square do the grains of chawri appears crowded? In 15 into 15 centimeter, as the square is small, due to which the chawri will appear crowded. Can there be a correlation between the distribution of chawri grains and the distribution of population in a region? Yes. When the grains of chawri are scattered over two areas of a different size in the large area, the distribution appears sparse. Similarly, we can understand the distribution of population in a region. Let's see the geographical explanation for this. Distribution of population. When the grains of chawri are scattered over two areas of different sizes in the large area, the distribution appears sparse. See figure 7.1. This is the figure 7.1. You can see the small box and the bigger box. And comparing to these two boxes, you can see that where the chawri is sparse in the first box, that is which is the bigger one, and where the space is seen lesser, that is the small box. Similarly, we can understand the distribution of population in a region. Some regions are mountainous while others are flat plains. Geographical conditions vary. It means that our earth, it is having a points of highs and lows. Some part of our earth or of our ground is higher like mountains, and some are flat as plains. Some regions are well endowed with natural resources, while others have limited resources. Some regions in our country or in earth are having a good quality of resources, and some places they are far away from the resources, means there the resources are limited. Some places we will get resources easily available, and in some places it will be difficult to find out the resources in that area. This condition affect the distribution of population. In areas with abundant resources, naturally the population is more. In these areas there is dense population distribution. In areas where scarce resources, unfavorable climate, untilting terrain, etc., the population distribution is sparse. Where the population will be less, where the resources will be less, then there the population will be less. Where the population will be higher, where the availability of resources are easily available, there the population will be higher. Try this. Before doing this, try this. Let's see factors affecting population distribution. Physical factors are location, relief, climate, soil, mineral resources. Next, economic factors are agriculture, industry, urbanization, transport, markets. Political factors, wars, political instability, government policies. Social factors, race, religion, language, customs, and tradition. All these are the factors which affect the population distribution. Let's see the next activity. Try this. Draw a square of 2 into 2 meter. In the square, ask 2 students to stand. Slowly increase the number of students and ask the following questions. In the space provided, can you move around easily? No. It is not easy to move around in the space of 2 into 2 meters. Can more students be accommodated in the square? No. No more students can be accommodated in the square because the square is small, so no maximum students cannot be stand in the given box of 2 into 2 meters. Students carrying out the activity. Here you can see as one box they had drawn and few students are standing there. If extra students we will put into it, whether they will be able to stand in that box? So your answer will be no. According to the limit of the square, we cannot add any more student in that box. When the answer to the above questions are negative, then ask all the students to write their observation about the experiment and initiate a discussion on population density in the class. As if you will take the example of our house, is there any function in your house? In that situation, you will see that it is difficult to move in the room. That is, when there is no any family members or relatives in our house, we can easily move from one place to another places, from one room to another room easily without any difficulty. If more peoples are added in the class, it's difficult to sit in the class. Like this only, the activity is given. Geographical explanation. Density of population, the ratio of the population of a country to its area is population density. While discussing population distribution, density of population is also considered. The density is calculated as per the formula given below. As the density of population is calculated as the given formula, density of population is equal to population of a region divided by area of a region. By using this formula, a particularly area's density of population can be found out easily. Complete the table. By using this formula, you have to calculate this table and you have to write the density of this area. By using calci, or if you are good in maths, so you can easily do by yourself. So calculate it and write down the density of that particularly Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan, Manipur and Goa, and send the picture on group. From the area of a region and its population, one can calculate how many people live in a square kilometer. Density of a population is not the same everywhere. In some regions, the area is small but the population is large. For example, Kerala. In other regions, the area is large but the population is small. Therefore, the density of population is low. For example, Rajasthan. It means that in some regions, the area is small but the population is large. For example, they had given Kerala. Here, Kerala, it is the region. Here, it is small but the population level in Kerala is large. And that is compared to other that they had given about Rajasthan. Here, the area is large but the population level here it is low. Think about it. Even though area-wise Rajasthan is a large state, the population is less. Which geographical factors may be responsible for this? If you know about the Rajasthan, you can come to know that the climate of Rajasthan is not favorable for human settlements. Apart from this, the infertile soil of this region is a deterrent to the development of agriculture in this region. Hence, even though area-wise Rajasthan is a large state, of population of the state is less. Try this. Think of 20 people in your neighborhood and divide them into the following categories: young, adult, old, educated, uneducated, females, males, students, laborers, merchants, industrialists, unemployed, housewives, etc. So, you have to classify the 20 peoples of your neighborhood and you have to divide them according to this given. You have to prepare a chart. In first column, you have to write the young ones, adult one, old, educated, uneducated, females, males, students, laborers, or he is a merchant or he is an industrialist, or whether he is an unemployed person, or she is a housewife. So you have to distribute them according to this given points. Complete this activity and write down it in your classwork. And on the next Saturday, you have to send that pic on group. From the above classification, what were the silent features of your neighborhood? So, you will get these answers when you will find out the information which is given above. So, complete this activity by yourself and write it down in your classwork. Prepare columns, write down the headings and divide the people according to their name, according to their category, whether the person is young, whether the person is old, or whether the person is uneducated or educated. Divide the 20 persons and write down their information in the given table. Geographical explanation. Structure of population. Population can be subdivided into various categories. By studying the correlation between the subdivisions and understanding of the structure and quality of the population is possible. So as how we can get the structure of population? By studying the correlation between the subdivisions and understanding of the structure and quality of the population. So it will help us to find out easily the structure of population. Can you tell groups: male, adolescent, illiterate, children, unemployed, infants, literate, rural, working population, urban, female, old, young, dependent population, adult. As comparing to this, classify the above groups into the categories below: sex, age, rural, urban, literacy, productive population. Population can be subdivided as per the groups given above. These subgroups and their relationship with one another is studied in the structure of the population. So, if we will divide the categories into groups in sex, first one, what will come? Male, female. This will come in the first, that is in the category of sex. In age, if we will see the adolescent, children, infants, old age, young, adult, this will come under the age. Area of residence, that is rural and urban. Urban, rural and urban, it will come under the area of residence. Next, literacy, illiterate, literate, it will come under the literacy. Productive population, unemployed, working population, dependent population, this will come under the productive population. So this is the classification. Next, geographical explanation. Sex ratio. As per the gender, population can be divided into males and females. Males means boys, females means girls. This is a natural division which can be easily understood in a population. When both the genders are around the same number, it indicates a balanced population. In population studies, the ratio of men and women is considered important. This ratio is calculated as follows. How the sex ratio is calculated? Depending on this, if it is balanced population or not, how can come to know? According to the given formula of sex ratio. Sex ratio equals to total number of females divided by the total number of males into 1000. This is the formula which will help us to find out the sex ratio. You can easily find out the sex ratio of your class. Write down in the column total number of girls in your class divided by total number of boys in your class and divide or multiply it with 1000. When for every 1000 males the number of females is less, the sex ratio is said to be low, and when for every 1000 males the number of females is more, the sex ratio is said to be high. If the females are less and the males are higher, it can be said that the sex ratio is low. When every 1000 males the number of females is more, then we can say that the sex ratio is high. Here the sex ratio of 2011 they had given Haryana, Bihar, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Kerala. If we will see in Haryana, the number of females are 879. In Bihar 918, in Maharashtra 929, in Chhattisgarh 991 and in Kerala 1084. Study the graph given above and answer the following questions. Which state has the highest sex ratio? So we can see this bar graph, and from this we can come to know that in Kerala the sex ratio is high. Which state has the lowest sex ratio? If you'll observe Haryana, here the sex ratio is high, that is 879 only. What changes should take place in Maharashtra to bring about a balanced sex ratio, and how much change is necessary? So here, to maintain the balance between the sex ratio, what we can do? Here, the measures of the birth rate should be increased for the girls. It will help us to make a sex ratio balance in the area. Different policies, different measures, schemes should be provided so that the number of birth rate of females can be increased and balance sex ratio will be seen in a Maharashtra. Geographical explanation. In region where the proportion of females is more than males, Predominantly, the out-migration of men is high. The out-migration is very often for employment purposes. So as what comparing to an area where the population, the migration of the men's are done maximally because they have to move. The men's have to move from one place to another places for the search of job. For example, Kerala, but where the proportion of females is less than males is most cases the birth rate of females is less. So due to superstitious thinking and as the people think that the females are burden to them, due to which the birth rate of the females is less, which gives a bad effect on our social life. Give it a try. How do imbalanced sex ratio affects the society? Here, the sex ratio is an indicator of social status. But an imbalance in sex ratio implies that either the number of men or number of women in the particular region are greater. If the sex ratio is less, it implies that the number of females in the region are less. It is an indicator of social discrimination against women. So, this type of discrimination should not be done. It hints at a possibility that women are not given basic rights and are considered inferior to males. It may also indicate social backwardness of the region. What measures can be taken to strike a balance in the sex ratio? Yes, some of the measures which can be taken to strike a balance in the sex ratio are implementing strict laws for the government. So as government have to implement some strict restrictions on the public. Creating social awareness for sex ratio, providing education facilities and health facilities for women. It will also help us to raise the female sex ratio, preventing female poeticide and infanticide. So, no any type of abortions should be done. It will help us to balance the sex ratio of females. Can you tell? Have a class discussion based on the following questions. How many people in your house are studying? What is their age? So you know about this you have the information about this question. How many people in your house are working for a living? How old are they? Do your grandparents still work? What is their age? So for this 3 questions, you have to write down the answer. Geographical explanation, age structure. In a region, when the population is subdivided as per the age groups, that is called the age structure of population. Age structure is useful for the projection of population and for understanding the dynamics of the age structure arrangements. Similarly, it also helps in understanding the proportion of active and dependent population. So as what? As the age structure, as according to the age the groups are prepared, it helps us to find out that in which age group the population is higher and in which age group the population is lower. In India, the productive population is the population between the age 15 and 59. So, the people who are under the age of 15 and 59 will considered as productive population. This group of people is active in service and business. They directly participate in the economic activities of region. In region where the proportion of this population is more, especially youth development is rapid. The dependent population fall into 2 subgroups. The people below 15 years of age are totally dependent on the productive population. So, as above we had seen, the productive population is 15 to 59 and the children which is under the 15 years, they are dependent members. Means they are independently, they cannot do their work. They need the guidance. By themselves, they cannot take the decisions or they have a less information about the social life. And another the subgroup is people above 60 years also fall in the dependent category. Above the 60 years also the people, they are unable to work. So we have to take care of the people above 60 years age and the below 15 years age. So people above 60 years also fall in the dependent category, but their knowledge and experience make them a valuable asset to the whole society. So what is the importance of the 60 years old people? They are having experience of life, so they can guide us according to our need. Occupation structure of population. The population of a region can be classified into working and non-working groups. These people who are not in jobs or professions despite being in the productive age group come under the non-working group. This non-working group is dependent on the working group. If the proportion of working population is higher in a region, then the population is termed as industrious. Such a region has rapid development. Where the non-working group members are less and the working group members are higher, that region will come under the development process. Or we can see the development in that region is done rapidly. Area of residence. The population of a region can be divided into two groups as per the area of residence, that is rural and urban. As we know, the population is divided into rural and urban. This is the two categories. People in the rural areas are mainly employed in primary occupation. This one also we know. The people who live in rural areas, they are totally dependent on the primary occupations. And in the urban areas, the proportion of people working in secondary and tertiary occupations are large. And the people who work in urban areas, they are busy in secondary and tertiary occupations. The population in the rural areas is involved in the production of food grains. So here, the rural areas, they are on the primary basis, they will depend on food grains, agriculture, fishing. This will come under the primary occupation, which is done in rural areas. The urban population is dependent on the rural population for the supply of food grains. So as what? The supply of the food grains which is done by the rural areas, the urban areas are dependent. Because in urban cities, we are not doing any agriculture production or we are not doing any animal husbandry. So we are totally dependent on the rural areas. Try this. Prepare a bar graph on the basis of the given table below. Discuss the issue of literacy in the country and write a note. Argentina 98.1 literacy, Brazil 92.6%, India 72.1%, China 96.4%, Bangladesh 61.5%, Pakistan 56.4%, Iran 86.8%, and Afghanistan 38.1%. So, by using this information, you have to prepare a bar graph. Can you tell, in lesson number 6, page 41, what do you think are the reasons for the changing land use pattern of Mondha village? As in chapter 6, if you go to the chapter 6, you can find out that what is the reason of the changing land use of the Mondha village. In that, you had seen that in the Mondha village, we will see that the Mondha village has been seen a change in the use of land from being agricultural land to reduction of agriculture and increase in human settlements. There could be various reasons for this change. One of them could be migration of the people from the rural place to the cities for better job opportunities. This may have further left the land unused and hence houses were built on this lands. What kind of change have taken place? If you will go to that chapter number 6, the picture they had given on page number 41, according to it, the change that can be seen in the Mondha village is that the agricultural land has reduced and has given way for the development of houses in its place. Due to this change in land use, do you think there has been a change in population? If yes, what is the change and why? Yes, the change in the land use has surely affected the population of that region. People who have moved out for job have led to out migration. Similarly, People who have moved in that area for building of houses on the unused land could have led to the in-migration. This can be the reason. Literacy. In society, some people are literate and others illiterate. In our country, a person who can read and write is termed as literate. As what is the definition of literate? The person who is able to read and write, that person is termed as literate. And the person who is unable to read and write, that will be known as illiterate. This definition can vary from one country to another. The percentage of literacy throws light on the quality of the population. People above the age of 7 can be classified into literates and illiterates. Literacy is an indicator of the social and economic development of a society. If the percentage of literacy is higher than the country developed social and economically, literacy leads to the development of a cultured and progressive society. As if the population maximally literated, it helps us to move towards the development process. How much the literacy level will be higher, the development of our country will be that much only higher. If the illiteracy is more, then the development process will be weak. Let's see the geographical explanation. Migration. The movement of an individual or a group from one place to another is termed as migration. This could be for a short period, long period, or permanently. Marriage, education, business, transport, tourism, natural calamities, wars, etc. This can be the reasons of migration from one place to another places. There are many kinds of migration. Regions from where people migrates show a fall in population, where the people will move from one village to other villages. The people are moving from which village will show a low population in that village, means a fall in that village will be seen in the population level. Such regions experiences a shortage of manpower. On the other hand, the areas to which they migrate shows an increase in population, where the people are moving that place, the population will be higher because people are moving to that place. And a strain on the public amenities and facilities. As population will be more, facilities and services will be needed more. So the scarcity of facilities and space and many other will be seen in that region where the population is increasing. Due to migration, the composition of the population also changes. Can you tell? Answer on basis of the given table. Afghanistan country percentage of immigrant population. Afghanistan 0.14, Brazil 0.34, Kuwait 62.11, Bangladesh 0.73, Germany 12.31, Hong Kong 42.59, Israel 37.87, India 0.52, Oman 24.46, Saudi Arabia 25.25, Great Britain 8.98, USA 12.81. So depending on this given table, now you have to give the answers of this question. Which countries have less than 10% migrant population? If you will observe the countries which have now you can give the answer. The countries which have less than 10% migrant population are Afghanistan, Brazil, Bangladesh, India and Great Britain. Here the percentage which is below 10%. What is the next question? Which are the countries with a migrant population of between 10% to 20%? Here the countries, if you see, here the countries with a migrant population of between 10% to 20% are Germany and USA. Which are the countries with a migrant population of more than 20%? The countries with a migrant population of more than 20% are Kuwait, Hong Kong, Israel, Oman and Saudi Arabia. Find the reason behind the migrant population of more than 20%. Here, some of the reason behind the migrant population of more than 20% are availability of employment opportunities, higher standard of living, and urbanization, which can be the result of population of more than 20% in that regions. Draw two pie diagrams for any two countries. So, you have to draw any two pie diagrams. Pie diagrams means, I will give one example. According to it, you have to prepare any one pie diagram. Have a discussion on migration and development. So here, migration and development. Migration, how the migration will be increase. If the migration is increasing, the facilities will be lesser, and the development process, if the literacy level increases, the development will take rapidly. If the illiteracy will be more, then the development of our country will be slow. Geographical explanation. Migration is an important factor affecting the distribution of population. Due to migration, there is a redistribution of the population of a region. The structure of a population also undergoes a change. The above table has given the percentage of migrant population of some selected countries. In the countries where the percentage of migrant population is more, job opportunities, good business prospects, the availability of natural resources, and economic development are the main causes. Just we had discussed all this, so no need to explain it again. On the other hand, political and social factors, economic backwardness, etc. are some of the reasons accounting for a low percentage of this population. Even though the percentage of this population is low in India, when compared to the total population, the actual figures are large. So as what it is given tentative, exact figures are not given, as exact figures will be large. Can you tell? Have a discussion on the basis of the following questions and answers the following. What would you call the people who work in the place mentioned below? Farm, farmer, factory, workers, managers, hotel, waiters, chefs, hospitals, doctors, nurses, shopkeeper, school, teacher, office, employee. Use your brain power. In India, 0.52% of the population are migrants. What is the actual number of people who have migrated to India? So you have to collect this information by using the internet. If you will see that 62,92,000 people have migrated to India, 0.52% of 121 crore people. This is the ratio of migrant of India. What is the age limit of people doing this job? So the general age limit of people doing such jobs is 18 years to 60 years. In lieu of works, what do people get? The people who do these jobs get salary or wages in lieu of their job. For which of these jobs is it necessary to be educated? All the jobs mentioned above require people with education or knowledge about the task to be carried out. However, the certain jobs like workers, managers, chef, doctor, nurses, teachers and employee requires a certain level of formal education. Which of these jobs involves skill? All jobs mentioned above require specific skill set essential for that particular job. Correlate education and skill with remuneration received and prepare a table. One question we have left. Which job can be done without education or skills? Although all the jobs require some kind of education, the job of farmer, shopkeeper and workers job can be done to a certain extent without formal education. And answer for the last question here. The education and skills are both necessary for carrying out a certain job. So with proper formal education, one can enhance his or her skill and perform the task better. Also, the remuneration is directly proportional to level of the skill or education received by a person. Thus, a person having higher education or one who is extremely skilled gets a better remuneration than others. Geographical explanation. Population or resource. Population as a resource is important for the economic, social and cultural development of any country. Rather than population numbers, it is quality of population which is important. Along with the percentage of literacy, sex ratio and age groups, health, educational levels, etc. are also considered while thinking of population as a resource. The supply of skilled or unskilled labor depends on the quality of the population. As depending on the questions also, we had discussed all these points. In the early exercise on page number 42, you have noticed that there was an increase in population in towns A and B city. About A city and B city we had seen. That only means that there was a growth of population, but can you say anything about the development of those towns? If there are no houses for this increasing population, no adequate drinking water, then of what use is this growth only? In these towns, for how many people has additional drinking water been made available? How many children have started attending school? Or in which city are the people happier? Growth does not mean development. Then how can development be measured? As comparing to these two cities, we have seen that the A city, the population level is higher because the resources which is made available in that A city is more than the B city. But the facilities will be provided in the A city will be difficult, and where the population is low, the facilities will be in a plenty. So easily the natural resources will be available and the day-to-day needs will be completed easily in B. For many decades, only a country gross national product was used for measuring development, that is GNP. It was assumed that the greater the economic prosperity, the more the development of a country, but this does not mean that the people are happy with the quality of life in that country. In reality, development is related to the quality of life, the opportunities available there and freedom. So as what? The development, it doesn't mean that only the literacy level, but also the quality of the people, the reality development of the people and the lifestyle of the people. It totally depends on this, and the opportunities which are made available, the freedom which is given in the country, it will depend on this, the population and the development of the country. In the decade of 1980 to 1990, Mehboob ul Haq and Amartya Sen put forth the concept of Human Development Index (HDI). United National Development Programme (UNDP) publishes a list of countries based on HDI score every year. Try this. Try to complete the table on the basis of the information provided about a few countries and write a note on the Human Development Index (HDI) of various countries. HDI rank-wise country: Norway, Australia. Value of the HDI Norway 0.949. Level of development very high. Australia country: Australia. Value of the Human Development Index 0.939. Level of development high. Next, Switzerland. Value of the Human Development Index is 0.939. Level of development is very high. Next, Germany. Value of the Human Development Index is 0.926. Level of development is very high. Denmark, 0.925 Human Development Index and the level of development is very high. United Kingdom, 0.909. The level of development is very high. Japan, 0.903 is the value of the Human Development Index and the level of development is high. Sri Lanka, 0.766, high. Brazil, 0.754. Statistics 2017, high. China, 0.738, high. South Africa, 0.666, medium. India, 0.624, medium. Bhutan, 0.607, medium. Pakistan, 0.550, medium. Afghanistan, 0.479, low. Niger, 0.353, low. Central African, 0.352 is low. This is Human Development Index of the few countries they had given. Human Development Index. The Human Development Index holds an important place in the study of human conditions related to international economic development. Today, it is commonly accepted that only economic prosperity does not mean development. So, as what economically, if we are prospered, it doesn't mean that we are developed one. This is not just the expectations of the individuals but also of a region or of a country. The Human Development Index is used as a yardstick to measure regional development. While computing this index, the three main parameters have been considered. So as what? As computing this index of the development of a region, economic parameter, that is standard of living, health parameter, life expectancy, third, education parameter, number of years of schooling. The values of the Human Development Index range from 0 to 1. Highly developed region have a value close to 0 to 1, and as the level of the development goes down, the value of the Human Development Index decreases. In the area with very little development, the value of the index is close to 0. Make friends with map. Depending on this map, few questions are given below this. Can you tell density of population in Maharashtra? Let's see. Which are the most densely populated districts? Here, index is given greater than 1000, 5000 to 1000, light pink and more light pink 250 to 500, faint pink 100 to 250 and a very light color less than 100. If you will see which are the most densely populated districts. So here, Palghar, Thane, it is showing the very dark part. It means that the Palghar, Thane, these are the region where the population is high. Name the sparsely populated district with a density of less than 100 per square kilometer. Less than 100, very faint color, that is, if you will see here, that Gadchiroli is the region where the population is under the less than 100 per square kilometer. Name two districts with moderate population densities. Moderate mean not so high and not so low. It means that 250 to 500. If you will see, the Raigad, Satara, Sangli, Solapur, Latur, Nanded, Parbhani, many places are here. Next, what is the density of the dark shaded region? The dark shaded region Palghar, Thane, the density is more than 1000. Why is the density of population less in Gadchiroli? Here, the resources which are available are less, and it is a Naxali area, due to which the population is less in this area. Have a discussion in the class on the effects of the physiography, Calumet area under forest industries, and also Gadchiroli, it is a forestal area. Here Naxali attacks are seen, terrorist attacks are done, due to which the population is less in this area. Let's see the geographical explanation. While considering the district-wise density of population in Maharashtra, the following features stand out. Population density is less in the eastern districts of Maharashtra, while they are more in the western district. Higher density indicate urbanization and higher levels of industrialization. Therefore, Mumbai city district and Mumbai suburb district, Thane, Pune and Nagpur district have higher density. The rain shadow district as well as the districts in the extreme east, which are densely forested, show less density. So, this is the explanation of the map, that it is divided according to their resources, according to their population level. The Maharashtra state is divided into different population levels in the map. So, HDI, Human Development Index, remember it. What is the full form of HDI? It can be in your exam. UNDP, United Nations Development Program. Do you know, information about many parameters related to population is obtained through actual surveys. These surveys are called census. In India, these census are conducted once in 10 years at the start of the decade. The latest census was conducted in 2011. The statistical information obtained through these surveys is classified, presented graphically, and used in comparative studies and planning. Use your brain power, discuss and write the advantages and disadvantages of low population or high population with reference to the following factors. Now we had understood what are the lows and highs of the population. So you can write this. Headings: per capita land availability, low population, high population, food grains, resources. What will be the effect on it? You have to write in this given table. So points are given about according to it, divided. Next, give it a try. Since the past 2 centuries, the size of family is decreasing. But in spite of this, the population of the country is increasing. Find out why is this happening. In 1810, the family was big. In 1910, here the members are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 members they were there in the family. In 1910, the family were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A little bit the family has decreased. In 2010, the family is of 3s. So, what is the reason behind it? As the need of the family is increasing. So, to complete the need of the family, the population level is decreasing. Next. Use your brain power. As per the population census of 2011, the population of India is 121 crores. For domestic use, the per capita requirement per day is 50 liters of water. Taking this into account, what would be the total amount of water required in India for domestic purpose only? So, for this answer, population of India as per census of 2011, they had given that 121 crore. Per capita requirement of water for domestic use is 50 liters of water per day. Therefore, total requirement of water for domestic use in India is 50 into 121 crores liters of water per day. So, your answer will be 6050. That is 6050 liters of water per day. Therefore, the total amount of water required in India for domestic purpose only is 6050 liters per day. Give it a try. Have a discussion on population control with the help of the following points: public education, public awareness, planning, research, education, health facilities, government policies. Discuss with your parents that how we can make control over on the population. So that's all for today. In this way we had completed the population chapter. Complete the given exercise and learn the given exercise. Read the chapter once again. That's all for today. Thank you.